Can you see the screen, Anna, all of you? Can you see the screen, the PPT? Okay. So, in the previous class, till where did I stop the concept? Can anyone type? What was the last concept that we have discussed in the previous class? That's on Wednesday. What was our concept? What was the concept that we have taken till? Yes, anyone in the class? $519 has left the meeting. Till forms of business organizations, functions, architecture of the business. So did we start with the structure of the firm? Forms of business we have just discussed regarding factors, isn't it? Factors determine which form of business do you select. That was the last concept. Did I take the structures of the firm? Did I start? This is what the structure of the firm. So in the exam, if we ask types of organization, structures of business, you have to write functional, divisional, matrix, fall and tall. If we ask forms of business entities or types of business entities, you have to write about sole trader, partnership firm, joint stock company and cooperative societies. So don't get confused as to what to be written when. Clearly write down. I asked everyone to put a book, isn't it, for BEFA, to write the side headings and to write about the running notes, examples and so on. Regarding put the date of every date and what you have taken, what you have discussed in this class should be written in this BEFA running notes. Did I say in the last class, all of you? So did you keep? No? Did you put a new BEFA book? Yeah. So here what I said is every day, whatever the concepts that we take in the class, you write in the form of side headings and short notes. And anyhow, I will forward the main PDF notes. So in that you can compare what we have done in the class, what to be read for which concept, keeping the syllabus aside. So therefore, running notes is what very important. All of you put a new notebook for BEFA, put along with the date, and anytime I may check by asking you to on your camera. Okay, don't say that we didn't know, I didn't maintain, I didn't write only today. Don't give lame excuses as kids. Behave like grown-ups, have focus on your career, be committed towards the course and the subject, all of you. Okay, and here, as I said, BEFA is not only for credential purpose, it also helps you for the overall grooming of your personality, where you come to know what really happens in the companies. And as I said, it's not during the BTech, it's after BTech is what this would be really helping you out. Either you start a firm or either you join a company. It's what very important for each and everyone to know what really happens, either financially, either in the concept of marketing, either in the concept of HR, or either in the concept of production. So for each and every aspect of companies, you need to know what really happens there. It's not just you go there, you join, then you learn. Rather, you in BTech itself, you learn what really happens in the organizations. How do organizations get started, or what are the activities that do happen in the companies? So till here I have told what do you mean by business, what are the factors that do affect the business, and I'll just forward the PPTs once the class is over. Now coming to the structure of the business. Structure of the business or organization structure someday, you have to write types of structures. Okay, first let us start with the types of structures, or write down the heading as types of organization structures, oblique types of business structures. Write down in your notebooks types of structure or types of organization structure. Business structure and organization structure and these are the types: functional, divisional, matrix, and flat and tall. So what do you mean by structure and what do you mean by entities or forms? Structure is the physical setup. Structure is the physical setup of each and every business organization as to how do these activities carrying on in the business. So for which how to day-to-day activities in the business goes on to identify that each and every company has a certain setup of the business to carry on the business activities. Either it may be a service sector or either it may be a production sector. Based on its necessities, based on the requirements of the managers, they try to start up the structure of the business. So structure of the business, out of which the first one is functional type of structure. Write down the side heading, functional type of structure, the first one. So here, physical setup refer to how do the day-to-day activities or transactions in a company do carry on. So if the organization has functional form of business structure, the organization will divide its departments based on functions performed. Based on functions performed. So here in this flowchart, there are only three: marketing, sales, services. This is service oriented. This is service oriented type of business. But if it is production type of business, it has production department, finance department, HR department, marketing department, sales and promotion department. Like this, based on the activities or the functions performed by each department, the organization divides an company into various departments based on function performed. This is known as functional type of structure of business or functional type of organization structure. So most of the services, what do you mean by services? In the last class, I gave you an example, isn't it? What do you mean by services? Services refer to, what do you mean by services? Services refer to a business. Yeah, a business may be classified into production and services. Production refer to using certain technology to convert input to output, such as production of furniture, manufacturing of TV, manufacturing of an automobile. These are all known as production. Now coming to the services, education, railways, education, hospitals, telephone, stockbroking, insurance, banking. These are all service sector. So for such type of business organizations, functional type of structure is best suited. Is it clear? Functional type of structure is best suited for such type of businesses. Is it clear? So like most of the service oriented companies follow this type of structure. If you observe, marketing is one function performed. Under marketing, again we have marketing, we have sales, and we have service. Then we have sales department. Sales department based on the functions of sales. In this again we have marketing, sales, and services. And again services, we have services refer to, like for example, if we are manufacturing of washing machine, service maintenance, installation or repairs will come under services, isn't it? The services again we have marketing, we have sales, and we have services. So therefore, each and every organization is divided based on the functions performed, and each function will again subdivided into various activities that do happen in the organization. Is this functional type of structure clear, all of you? Shall we move on to the next one? Shall we move on to the next type of structure? Is this clear now? Yeah. Only one. 572, 79, 70. Except for everyone. Are you there in the class or sleeping? Clear? Now let's move on to the next type of structure that is known as, Janvi is the CR, isn't it? Girl CR. Okay. So any doubts in this functional form of structure? Mostly suited for service sector organizations. And here the organization is classified into various functions. Each function will be divided as a particular department. Department, again, it is further divided into subdivisions based on the activities performed by each function. Okay, so this is known as functional form. Now let's move on to the second one. What is the second one? The second one is functional form. Functional form is over, sorry. What is the second one? Matrix structure. Matrix structure. So its matrix structure is tied as a net. And listen carefully. What do you mean by matrix structure is, this form of structure has two bosses. So the small blue boxes that you can see, a small blue color square.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yeah,
ma'am, your screen is not being shared.
Okay.
Your screen is not being shared, ma'am.
Oh. Now is it shared?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Oh, okay. Thank you for informing. Yeah, now. So here, if you observe, the small blue boxes is denoted as employees. A single employee is denoted by the small blue boxes, and each employee, the small blue box is an employee. Each employee denoted with white lines are connected with functional managers. One boss who is functional manager, and the second boss, the orange line, is division manager. The second boss. So each employee is responsible and is reporting to two bosses. One is division boss, one is marketing boss. Orange line is divisional, white line is functional, that is marketing. So for example, we get a project like electronics division can be taken as a project A. Let us assume electronic division as project A. So this particular small square is reporting to project A manager as well as marketing manager. To have clear-cut instructions both based on functional as well as project. Like for example, we get a new project. A project manager, what he does is, he selects various personals from different functional departments, then accomplish the project and then disperse. In such situation, this particular employee who has come from marketing, who has come from sales, who have come from services, will be preparing as a team. Once till the project is over, he'll be reporting to the project manager as well as the functional manager. So this type of structure is also known as two bossism structure or matrix structure, which is tried in a loop where a single employee is responsible or reporting to one of functional boss, one of project boss. Is this clear, Nana? This is second type of structure that is known as matrix structure. Is it clear? Is this clear? Matrix type of structure is also known as two boss structure. Okay. Now let us move on to the next form of structure. Let us move on to the next form of structure, that is divisional. Divisional form of structure. This is an example given based on geography. So most of the software companies such as IBM do follow divisional type of structure. What do you mean by divisional type of structure? Each and every organization is divided into based on the divisions. And on what basis are these divisions done? The screen shows geographical division, but we have, write down in the book, none. Divisional organization structure has first one based on geography. Write down the first one, A, based on geography. Second one, based on product. Second one, based on product. Third one, based on customer. Based on customer. Fourth one, based on income. Based on income. And so on. So depending on the nature and type of business they carry on, they adopt one divisional type of structure. So divisional type of structure, or one most successful company which follows the structure is IBM is a company which follows divisional form of structure based on geography. So the screen shows geographical form where North American division, then we have Asia specific region, and we have East American region. So like this, who have entered the class now? Let me know, Nana, who is this who have entered the class now? Okay. So this is based on geography. And another example we can give is Central Railways. Central Railways is divided into 4, isn't it? South Central Railways, North Central Railways, Western Railways, Eastern Railways, like this. If the division is done based on geography. So this is known as divisional form of structure based on geography. Now coming to the second is customers. Customers, you can give example of bank. Example of a bank where the banks aggregate various departments based on the customers. Like first, current account, one customer, savings account, one department, loans, one department, real estate, one department, like that. Each type of consumer forms as a one department. This is known as customer-based divisional structure. What do you mean by current account? Do you have an idea? What do you mean by current account? Who will open a current account? What do you mean by current account? At least most of you may be drawing your amount from ATM in a debit card or credit card. So when you swap, you get an option, current account, savings account. What do you mean by current account? None in the classroom, no? Yes or no, none? At least we respond out there, name cheppese answer, I will move further. If you don't respond, what should I assume? Yeah, for business people, very good. It should be registered. It should be registered as a partnership firm or a joint stock company registered under the prescribed law. Then you can open a current account, and a current account balance, minimum balance would be huge, starting up with depending on the corporate banks. Yeah. Business people can open a current account. And here the rules and regulations are different in comparison with savings account. In the case of savings account, whatever the balance we have, only that to an extent limit we can withdraw the amount. But in the case of current account, we can withdraw more than our balance, stating as a short-term business obligation of overdraft. Then later, before 45 days, you can pay off along with the daily based interest. So that is a benefit you have in a current account, where you can withdraw more than the balance that you have in the form of bank overdraft. And then later you have to pay back along with daily based interest chargeable on the amount that you have withdrawn excess. So this is known as current account. Loan, yeah, short term nana, ఇది only 45 days ke. Loan ante 3 years లోపల అయితే short term loan ఉంటుంది. 10 years అయితే long term loan అంటాం. కానీ ఇది to meet short term obligation of the firm. Normally what do the people do is they take back the amount. Like for example, I manufactured 10 furnitures. I want raw material for that. So what I do, I draw more amount of balance that I have and pay back once I do the sales. Once I get back my amount on sales, I will pay back to the bank. So to meet short-term obligations, as we say, it is a trade credit, as a short form of trade credit. Okay, is that clear? So this is only applicable for current account. Yeah. Now let us go back to our main point, that is divisional form of structure. So divisional based on customers we have seen. Now going to the next one based on product. The products based division is, for example, Colgate manufactures how many product lines? Do you have any idea? Colgate has many product lines. What do you mean by product lines? The main product is Colgate, and we have different product lines as charcoal, neem, herbal, salt, refresh, Colgate refresh. So like this, we have so many product lines, isn't it? So each product line would be treated as one department. So this is known as product-based divisions. This is known as product-based divisions. Divisional type of structure based on product. Like first one would be the Colgate, normal Colgate. The second one would be the salt Colgate. Third one would be the charcoal Colgate. The fourth one would be the Ayurvedic. Like this, the different product lines would be treated as the different departments based on product base. Is that clear? As before Dant Kanti, the maximum market share would be captured only by Colgate, as most of us we use Colgate, isn't it? I think even the same in your case. Close-up and Colgate are the two rivalries, is what I said. And you know, I think for your class, I said an example that before there was a blurring advertisement of unfair trade practice of Colgate to spoil the image of Colgate by blurring the name Close-up. If you use Close-up, your teeth would be broken. So again, what happened? There was a case imposed on this, and there was a huge amount that have been given to the Colgate, given to the Close-up in order to unfair trade practice that have been done by Colgate. Okay, so therefore, but maximum market share under Colgate is what we normally say as an example. So this is product-based division. Now coming to the what I said, the next one, customer-based, product-based, geography-based, then income-based. Income are generally classified into three. What are those? What are those, Nana? Higher income group, middle income group, and lower income group. Based on the age, we can classify as adults, children, women. Gender also we can even classify with gender based on men and women. So like this, classifications of division will be done based on the different nature and type of. Like Santur manufactures only women products. It doesn't manufacture male products at all. And it has recently started children, that is infants, baby care products, isn't it? So even the age also plays a very important role in the divisions, the geography, the gender, and so on. This is all about the divisional form of structure. Now going to the last type of structure, write down tall and flat type of structure. Tall and flat type of structure, the fourth form of structure. The fourth form of structure. What do you mean by flat is, if the number of levels of hierarchy are less, we say flat. Like only one CEO headed with the managers, and under managers they have employees. So the levels of hierarchy wherever are less, we say as a flatarchy or flat. Where the levels of hierarchy are more, we say tall. Like for example, the first level is CEO. Under CEO, we have directors. Under directors, we have managers, senior managers. Then we have deputy managers. Then we have additional managers. Then we have general managers. Like this. And the last, we have assistant managers, then supervisors, then employees. So if there is many levels, we say it as a tall structure. So nowadays, in modern way of doing the business, most of the organizations follow flat, having less levels to take decisions quickly, to communicate easily, and to have good relation with the peer, with the superior, and with the subordinate, have a good work environment. Flatarchy is what preferred nowadays. Apart from these four, most of the companies do follow Virtual refer to, it's only orally they have departments. Once the project is finished, they get dispersed. Those are known as virtual form of businesses, or even boundaryless. Boundaryless refer to there are no boundaries to divide. When and then required, they form a team. Then disperse is known as boundaryless form of structure, not creating an exact boundaries for each form of business. So this is known as different forms of businesses in the case of organization structure. Any doubts in this 4, Nana? Shall we move on to the types of business entities? Any doubts in this? Shall we move on? So let us start with forms of businesses. Okay, forms of businesses. Write down the next side heading. Forms of businesses are also known as types of business entities. Forms of business are also known as types of business entities. Quickly write down these 4, which you can see in the monitor: sole trader, partnership firm, joint stock company, and cooperative societies. Write down the heading: types of business entities, forms of business entities. Types of business entities, forms of business entities. Quickly write down all the 4: sole trader, partnership firm, joint stock company, and cooperative societies. So organization structure ante 4, types of entities ante 4. Don't get confused between these 4 and that 4. Okay. Now, let us start with the first form of structure, that is sole trader. Forms of business organizations. The first one is sole trader. Sole refer to single, trader refer to businessman. So sole trader is the simplest and very old traditional form of business where a single businessman takes all risks, takes all the risk of money, time and effort, and put his full energy, efforts in order to make the business run, enjoy all the profits, but has to bear only singly the losses. This is known as sole trader or sole proprietorship. Sole trader is also known as sole proprietorship. We have different examples that can be given in sole proprietorship, where Amazon, Flipkart can be given as the examples of sole proprietor, isn't it? But here Amazon is taken over, isn't it? Sorry, Flipkart is taken over by Walmart, isn't it? So now these are the Amazon is also a sole trader, which can be given as an example. So sole trader referred to single trader. Now let us quickly see what are the features of sole trader. When we have a single businessman who is the owner, then we say it is sole proprietor or sole trader. Now coming to the first one, easy to form and easy to close. So he need not maintain any legal documents. He need not maintain any legal formalities or any registration is required. So it is easy to form and easy to close. A sole proprietorship form of business is very easy to form and close whenever he wants. He need not consult neither the law or act. Any law or act is prescribed under this in the case of sole trader. Now coming to the next one, who brings in capital? He himself, the sole trader, brings into capital, and if it is not enough, he himself borrow from his friends and relatives. So he is the sole person who is responsible to bring the capital or the investment in the business. Now the next one is he enjoy all the profits, and in the case of the losses, he alone need to suffer. There is no other person who will share the burden in the case of losses. In the same way, there is no other person whom he need to share the profits if it is in the case of profits. Now coming to the unlimited liability. All of you listen carefully. This liability refer to extension to personal property. Liability extends to personal property. If it is limited, it does not extend to personal property. That is known as limited and unlimited. And this point we will come across in all the 4 forms of business. So all of you listen carefully. What do you mean by limited liability and unlimited liability? So limited is, for example, if the business runs in losses, the sole trader should also bring in his personal property to business in order to make the business run. But in the case of joint stock company or any corporate company, the liability is limited to the extent of shares or debentures held in the business. So always remember, limited liability ante okavela company losses lo run avute personal property kuda తీసుకురావాలా, that is there in sole trader. That is known as unlimited liability. To make the business run, he has to spend his last rupee also. That is known as unlimited liability. Any doubts in this, Nana? In the subheading of liability? Did you follow? It's important point which you come across in all the 4. In all the 4. Debenture, shares and preference shares and equity shares. Debentures is a certificate given by a company to name a debenture holder is a creditor to the company, and every year he'll get interest on debentures. Shareholder gets dividend on shares. Debenture holder gets interest on debentures. A shareholder is treated as an owner of the company. A debenture holder is treated as a creditor of the company. Is that clear, Nana? This we will see in sources of capital. Yeah. Sources of capital, I'll go in detail. What do you mean by share? What do you get if you purchase shares? What are types of shares? And so on. Okay. Sources of capital, conventional, non-conventional, idi cheppunta. Okay. Now coming to, in which point are we? Liability. So liability clear? All of you? Liability is unlimited or limited in case of sole proprietor? Now just quickly answer, all of you. Unlimited. Very good. Very good. Unlimited. Very good. Yeah, unlimited. So in case of joint stock company or corporate company, the liability is very good, limited. So now you can distinguish between what is limited and what is unlimited. So now going to the next one, it has high degree of flexibility. Why is a sole trader flexible? Because he is the only person to take all the decisions, to change the business, to drop the business, to shift over to other business or transfer the ownership. He need not consult anyone. It is at his discretion, he can do anything. Therefore, it is high degree of flexibility. Then next, there is no legal hassles at all. There is no legal hassles either to start or either to close or documents to be maintained. Except there are few businesses which need to take license. Licensing is there based on the statutory law. And the state law prakaram, కొన్ని types of businesses ki license obtain cheyali, such as liquor business, restaurants business, barber shop, dhobi shop, where we consume directly. That is, it is harmful to the human consumption or mankind consumption. In such situation, you have to obtain license. In the case of pharmaceuticals, you have to obtain license. In the case of restaurants, you have to obtain license. So it's a few forms of types of businesses. Remaining all need not require license. Neither any legal formalities need to be filled up. Is it clear, Nana? Hotels, restaurants, these need to take license. Medical shops, medical agencies, these are the types of businesses which you have to compulsorily take license and extend based on the statutory law and the state law prakaram. What happened suddenly? This screen has become shorter. How to make this big, Nana? Suddenly it has reduced. What shall be done? హారిక మ్యామ్ ఒక్కసారి ఇది సడన్ గా ఏమేం చెప్పు స్క్రీన్ so this is what so except few forms of businesses, you have to take license, remaining need not. So now the another thing is he has to take care of all the activities in the case of purchasing, in the case of customers, in the case of hiring the employees, in the case of maintaining the accounts, in the case of payment of taxes. Everything is only single person who have to take care of all the activities. In such situation, it would be very hectic for him to take care of all the functions as there is no one to share the burden. Now going to the next one, business secrets can be safeguarded. Or what do you mean by business secrets? We have different forms of different types of business secrets, isn't it? Like we have intellectual property rights, as trade secrets is one of the intellectual property right. For example, in the case of Coca-Cola, the trade secret of the recipe is kept in a vault. Only one or two will actually know what really happens in the recipe. The people who know will also sign the agreement of employer that they won't reveal the trade secret to anyone. Once they reveal, they would be sued. Why? Because what if the recipe is open? Even Pepsi or XY will also enter into the market. There would be no specialty of Coca-Cola at all, isn't it? So therefore, trade secrets can be safeguarded in sole tradership in comparison with other firms. Different pedda companies, so what happens is they have to maintain agreements, they have to maintain written documents so that they make all the employees sign that they don't really reveal the trade secrets. Or normally even in the KFC, there are 11 spices that are used. Kentucky Fried Chicken, isn't it? So what are the 11 recipes? No one knows. Only the employees who know will only know. The remaining don't know as to what really happens in the cooking. So all these are the trade secrets, especially in the case of consumables. The trade secrets, safeguarding the trade secrets is very, very difficult task. So that is easy in the case of sole proprietor. There is no surety of continuity. Why? Because what if the person dies? What if the person is ill, unfortunately? Then there would be a closure of the business. Now coming to the can operate full freedom, that's we have already discussed regarding the flexibility. Then quick and fast decisions, because it need not concern anyone to take the decisions, whatever may be the decision. Now coming to the last, rates of taxes are very low. Why are the tax rates very low in the case of sole proprietor? Can anyone say? Why are tax rates low in sole trader? Can you see the screen? So these are the different tax slabs. The present year is a new slab rate. The previous year existing under the previous year. So previous year, this is in the case of individual. This is in the case of individual. So listen carefully. Sole proprietor is a single one who is treated as an individual who enjoys a basic exemption of 5 lakhs. Okay, who enjoys the basic exemption of 5 lakhs. If you observe, these are the income tax slab rates in India for individual. Up to 5 lakhs, he need not pay anything. From 5 lakhs to 7 lakh 50, 10%. From 7 lakh 50 to 10 lakhs, 15%. From 15 to 12 lakh 50, it is 20%. These are the new slab rates that are applicable for this assessment year of previous income. And this individual can enjoy basic exam. 5 lakhs varaku you need not pay a single rupee. This is for individual. If your total income is, what do you mean by total income? This is general knowledge, and this is for your general knowledge purpose. You need not calculate the tax rate, or you need not apply any mathematical for the exam. This is just for your knowledge. A sole trader would be treated as an individual. Tomorrow you may earn an income. You have to plan your tax so that you come out without paying a single pipe. Plan your tax in such a way so that you need not pay a single pie in the form of tax. Like we don't like to pay tax. First we earn the income, later we pay tax. But in foreign countries, what happens? The tax regime is totally different. That is, tax will be deducted at source. The employee will get the deducted amount. They need, but in India, what happens? First you earn income, then what happens? You have to file your returns and then pay tax, isn't it? So in India law, most of the 70% is from indirect taxes, 30% direct taxes, income tax, అందులో కూడా 70% only employees. Why? Because it is documented on black and white. Their income is documented, clearly mentioned. So most of the people who pay tax individually is salaried people. Now let us come back. Total income ante 5 heads combined will get a total income. The first is income from salary. The second head is income from house property. What do you mean by house property? If a person has more than one house is exempted for self-occupancy. From second house, though you give it for let out or not, under Rent Act 1972, whatever the rental value, that would be treated as deemed to be let out, and the second house would be treated as income from house property. Then third one is income from business. A sole proprietor's income from business is treated as a third head, income from business or a profession. Profession refer to a doctor, a lawyer, a teacher, and so on. Now, fourth head is capital gains. What do you mean by capital gains? If you possess an asset or a plot and keep it with you for 3 years and then sell, the difference of purchase and sale is known as capital gain, and it attracts a long-term capital gain of 20% at a flat rate. So this is known as capital gain. And the last one is other sources. Other sources is income from subletting, income from part-time job, interest on securities, interest on debentures, dividends on shares. These all comes under fifth head. When you club all these 5 heads, you will get total income. Is it clear? Total income, on that we apply these slabs. Did you follow, Nana? How many heads of incomes do we have? How many heads of incomes do we have? Did you follow? 5, very good. Income from salary, income from house property, income from business or profession, income from capital gain, income from other sources. If you club all, you will get 5 heads as total income. You apply these slabs. This is known as income tax slab rates. These are the rates. So do you accept that a sole trader has less rate of taxes, as he can enjoy a basic exemption of 5 lakhs? And if your business income 5 lakhs unte, you need not pay a single pie per year. Did you follow, Nana? Shall we move on to the next form of business? Partnership firm. Yeah. Let us quickly go on with partnership firm, the next form of business. The next form of business is a partnership firm. So it is under the purview of Partnership Act 1932. And what is the definition given under Partnership Act 1932 regarding partnership firm? The relationship between 2 or more persons who agree to share profits of business carried on by one or one acting for all. So just listen why. Carrying on by all or one acting for all, for which we need to know what are the types of partners. So in businesses of partners, it's not compulsory that all the partners actively take part in the affairs of the business. Few may be treated as a sleeping partner and only few may be actively participating in the business. So therefore, we have given the definition clearly. It may be carried on by all or only one acting on behalf of all. This is known as partnership firm. Let us quickly see what are the types of partners. Types of partners are classified into 5. First one is active partner. Active partner, the name itself says that this partner will actively takes part in the business, brings in investment in the partnership firm, and also actively participate in the affairs of the business, and shares the profits and losses based on the prescribed rules, terms, and conditions in the partnership deal. The another important thing, one is it is covered under Partnership Act 1932. The second important thing is it has to maintain a legal document named as partnership deed, which gives the terms and conditions regarding the profit sharing ratio, the loss sharing ratio, the bringing on investment into the business by each partner. And what if the death of a partner? What if admission of a partner? What if retirement? And what about the transferability? All such terms and conditions will be clearly mentioned in the partnership deed. So only one document to be maintained in partnership firm under Partnership Act 1932 is partnership deed signed by all the partners. So now you understand what you mean by active partner. So active partner who also brings in investment, who also take care of the affairs of the business and also profits and losses. Now going to the second one, sleeping partner. Listen carefully. Sleeping partner brings in investment, shares the profits, shares the losses, but doesn't participate in the affairs of the business. He is known as sleeping partner. Is that clear? Is known as sleeping partner. So we have a quiz. Shall I stop here and continue in the next class, Nana? I have a quiz here. So we need to stop here. It's only 5 minutes. Or shall I give after the 3? Time is up, isn't it? So we'll take types of partners next class, that is on Monday. Okay. And yeah. And Nana, please send me the attendance of absentees. So 49 are there in the room. I want the remaining absentees also. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, Akash, thank you so much. So now I'll just open the quiz and let me know whether you can see all the 10 questions.